convention, which would then indicate an intent by Congress, an explicit intent by Congress when they adopted that committee report and passed the public law, that they intended for the $200 a day to be paid to the delegates for every day the delegates are in session. So the analysis, it's not just a blanket analysis. We have to take a look at each provision and the other laws that and reports and information that go with that language.
Okay, that's that answer. And of course, the second one was already answered. I understand the two items were in the same legislation. And the effective date of that legislation said that upon approval by the president or upon its becoming law without such approval, that amendment takes effect. So can you separate, is it legal or constitutionally appropriate to separate the two items and say one will not retroactive and one will be proactive?
You have to take a look at each section individually in order to analyze what that public law does. Unless one section refers back to another section in the statute, each section has to stand by itself.
The main vehicle that carried those two items.
So so when the public law is enacted, right, it amends the law that was in the language of the prior law. And so when I go to interpret what the law is now, I take a look at everything in order to determine the entire provision as it reads after the amendment. So this might be the easier way to look at it. Is Section 6 deals with the powers of the convention. Section 9 does not deal with the powers of the convention. Because Section 6 deals with the powers of the convention, it's not just the language. We then have to take a look at what are the constitutional powers of the convention. Okay? Because when Congress comes back and amends Section 6, Congress has to have the power to interfere with the constitutional powers of the convention. In other words, Congress itself has to have the power to make that amendment. Congress has the power to set the time, place, location, the when the convention meets. That would include the power to tell the convention when it can go into recess and potentially how many recesses it can take. But Congress exercised that power. Congress and gave the convention the authority to go into recess without any limitation. The convention exercised that power. Congress can, after the convention exercises its power, Congress cannot come back and modify that power in a way that takes away from the convention its implicit and in some ways explicit power as set out by the FSM Supreme Court in Constitutional Convention 1990 versus President, that the convention has to have the power to respond to the people, and that would mean going back and consulting with the people, okay? And by making the amendment while this convention was on recess, Congress cannot take away the power of the convention to determine when and if it should respond to the people again by saying, you've already done it once, you can't do it. If Congress only wanted the convention to hold one recess of 3 to 30 days, it could have done that, but it had to do it in the initial enabling law before the convention called its first recess. When it does that amendment, why this convention is on recess, that amendment has to act prospectively. Otherwise, Congress is acting unconstitutionally, and the court is going to interpret that language to avoid the constitutional crisis that it would create, which means that you say you have the convention has one more opportunity after the amendment to call another recess of between 3 and 30 days. Now, Section 9 is not dealing with the power of the convention. It's dealing with money, right? And the budget, and there's no committee report to give us any intent of what Congress wanted with regard to Section 9 until we get to the second public law, which is 21-77, right? Which is the budget, where we do have a committee report, which says that Congress intended to provide the convention with the monies it requested for the things that it requested that money for. And that includes the $200 a day allowance that the pre-convention committee budgeted. Okay, so you analyze those provisions differently because they're dealing with different things.
Okay, does that answer that? And I will give the balance of my time to my other lawyer.
You know, all that legal explanation section, so yeah, I'm not interested in the recess. All I'm interested in, can the delegates get $200 from the beginning of the convention till now? But I still disagree with what you said, cannot retroactive.
From January 7th.
Yes.
When you started.
When it was issued as one budget item, nobody can give money without thinking of compensation for people.
They'll get first and then, or Kathy, you wanna respond to that comment or just say that? Delegate no get first and, yeah. Yes, okay. Chairman Maguire, what do you say?
She said,
The President.
on the retraction of, with respect to the allowance and fees, I believe her explanation is that we can retract that provision. Yes, and also the budget details that Congress have approved. So it shows an intent of Congress to pay for those days. So I think we need to move on.
Mr. President, because of that, what Delegate Namian just said, I think we deserve another written opinion on that particular item in the law. Because her argument for retroactive applies to the law on session, the amendment to the enabling law. And if the argument is case saying that anything in that amendment does not take retroactive effect, it applies to the $200. I thought that was already determined that it does. So it is. So
I
what's
think
the
that, as
point?
we said, Mr. President, let's go back.
Yeah.
They can meet again after session.
All right, okay.
Before we go back, please,
Yes.
just to avoid any room for doubts and confusion down the line, it is there that the LC states, her opinion as to the fees in writing, just for the records of the convention. Is that, would that be too hard to do? What I'm saying is that there is a potential, like, the legislature is saying that somebody might misread the current legal opinion that the law does not retroact, and take that and apply that, extend that to the allowance. Because, so probably to avoid that confusion, it's probably better to have to know.
So Kathy, there is already, that's right?
I will add it to my list.
Go ahead. I'll start off. We're still in recess.
Mr. President, good morning. If the intent of Congress is to pay the delegates while in session, then it doesn't matter whether it is retroactive or not. That is the intention of Congress. The question is there money for it? And the answer is yes.
Yes. So that answers the point, the question. All right, let's go back now. Yes,
Thank you, Mr. President. I was just going to say
yeah.
that the intention of Congress is clear as to the payment of the $200. It's the intention of Congress of the extended recess that was not clear whether it retrospect or prospective. And that's why I asked this issue that the LC should look into it, because I felt that we needed another one. It shouldn't to meet with our people. So it's clear the intention of Congress for the payment of $200, that it starts when we work. What is not clear is the issue in front, which LCS just issued an opinion on. And now it's clear. For me, it's my position when I do my own research and I ask her to look into it. Same position. I agree with her totally of what she said.
Okay, let me ask one thing. Who will make the legal opinion on these between us? I would say the agent. Because this payment will come out from, on anything has to do with opinion on the government, it's the agent. And I don't think nobody will allow people to work for no compensation. You see,
I
the
think you're-
Constitution and everything else.
Yeah, and I think that's why I said a second opinion.
Peter Sudan, I think you misunderstood what I said. I said the $200, those who work, they're entitled for it.